This is the lesson that I created using Google Apps. The Google app that I chose to use was Desmo's Graphing Calculator. This lesson will be based on graphing absolute value functions or equations. So the students will be given the 5 equations that you see there on the left-hand side of the screen, and they will be asked to graph them. So here is the absolute value of x. So they will graph that one and see what that looks like, and you can see how it makes a V and it comes out of 0, 0. So then if I do the absolute value of x plus 2, you can see that it's the same exact graph, but it's shifted up 2. And then when I graph the absolute value of x minus 2, it's the same graph, but it's shifted down 2. Now I'm going to delete those two so that we can compare the absolute value of x plus 2 when they're both in the absolute value signs. Even though it's plus, it actually moves it 2 to the left because it's inside the absolute value sign. And then when it's minus, it actually moves it 2 to the right because it's in the absolute value sign. When the students finish creating these graphs and analyzing what happens, they will be asked to create 4 of their own different absolute value equations and describe what would happen with the graphs or what those graphs would look like without actually graphing them. Now that the ISTE standard that I used for this was 2, design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. Teachers design, develop, and evaluate authentic learning experiences and assessments, incorporating contemporary tools and resources to maximize content learning in context and to develop the knowledge, skills, and attitudes identified in the standards for students. And this particular one I think revolves around A, design or adapt relevant learning experiences that incorporate digital tools and resources to promote student learning and creativity. This enables the students to discover the learning on their own instead of me telling them what happens with the graphs. So when we look at the rubric for A, which I had just read to you, design or adapt relevant learning experiences that incorporate digital tools and resources to promote student learning and creativity. If we look at proficient, it says design and customize technology-enriched learning experiences that engage students in developing research questions about real-world issues or problems, proposing and evaluating multiple creative solutions, and presenting a report to an audience either face-to-face or virtually for feedback. Well, they actually will be developing their own conclusions based on what they discovered, and they will give face-to-face feedback because we will have a class discussion after they do their own analyzing the 4 that they created. So that's my lesson using Desmo's Graphing Calculator, which is a Google app.